you guys, it's Priscilla. Welcome back to TGT, the Groomers Table, where we discuss all things grooming related, business, and life. Today's guest, we have Kayla. Hey. All right. And we, of course, have some food here for us, La Bufadora, and we are going to be eating. So I got myself some potato tacos. What did you get?
Fish tacos.
Fish tacos. Okay, well, I'm going to take a bite, and then we're going to get into some questions. So I don't know if you want to take a bite of your food. And we'll get into those questions as soon as I taste
Make a mess of
yeah. I'm going to need some napkins.
Yeah. My taco already broke, so.
Corey, some napkins, please. We came unprepared today. So, a funny thing, I actually have gastritis, so I shouldn't be eating spicy stuff. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
So I shouldn't be eating spicy stuff, but I'm hungry. Okay. So my first question to you is, how long have you been grooming?
I think 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years?
Yeah, I think.
Okay. And how'd you get into the pet grooming?
I think it's like what every groomer wanted to do. They wanted to become a vet tech.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what I tried. But then the only way I could get my foot in the door was a grooming salon.
Yeah. It's crazy. Every pet groomer that I've talked to, they've all wanted to be a vet tech.
Yeah. I know. Now I think about it, I'm like, I cannot do that.
No. And was your family supportive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. At first they're like, you want to work with animals, but then they kind of realize like, well, you are good with animals, so that's probably the best thing for you.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's always nice. You definitely always want someone or your family to be supportive of whatever you do.
Yeah.
So that's good. Not everybody's supportive.
That's true. Yeah.
Have you ever felt that people have looked down on you because of your career choice?
I wouldn't say look down, but I think people definitely think it's way easier than what it is. And like I have people tell me like, oh, I could do that. Just like, can you?
No.
Like, it's not really for everyone.
It really isn't.
Yeah.
It's funny because when I went to grooming school, there was people that would go, they would pay to learn, and then literally that first week they would quit because it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Okay. Well, I guess nobody's looked down on you. My next question was to you, like, how did you overcome anyone ever looking down on you? Or how would you even overcome anyone saying, like, your job's easy?
I mean, I just tell them, like, well, it's not really for everyone. And I don't mind asking them, like, if you want to come and, like, just watch or, like, see what I do, and then maybe you can try it out, and then they'll learn for themselves.
Yeah.
Type of thing, but, yeah.
Okay. And what was it like at the first salon you worked at?
Interesting.
How so?
I mean, I'm very grateful that they let me in. I started off as a bather, and the guy that actually taught me how to bathe, he's very good at what he does, and I actually still use his techniques today.
Okay.
But yeah, the owner was not very like nice and supportive. I mean, I could tell that he was trying to push me, but there's a way, I would say, to push someone where he just wasn't doing it the correct way. I mean, I'm a very quiet person.
You have learned.
Yeah, and he just did not approve of that, I guess. I don't know if I should.
Go ahead. Yeah. Explain. Go ahead.
His exact words to me were, you shouldn't be a quiet person because quiet people make shitty employee, shitty person, shitty mom, shitty sister. Yeah.
Just like that.
Just like that. So.
Oh my gosh.
There are definitely moments where I would go to my car during lunch and just cry.
Oh gosh.
So one day I couldn't do it anymore, and I just left. But
Yeah.
I mean, I learned today from the difference between a mean owner or boss and a stern person.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, at least you know the difference now, and you know that that's not, the way he treated you wasn't okay.
yeah.
You know.
And yeah, I mean, I just hope that he's still not treating people like that because,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the
Okay.
greatest and it's not a good feeling.
Yeah. I mean, do you feel like you've overcome that, like the way he treated you?
I have now. It definitely took a while
Mm-hmm.
to overcome it, because then I would like second guess myself, like maybe I am like the shitty person because I don't talk and
Yeah.
like I am quiet and very reserved, but eventually I'm just like, well, this is just me. Like I can't change.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that doesn't mean that at all. I mean, quiet
Yeah.
people. I'm quiet, but
Yeah.
I have a lot to say too, and
Yeah.
so do you. I'm like, I know you have a lot to say. It's just
Yeah.
we're observers.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. And then, I guess, how did your grooms or have your grooms changed over the years? And if so, how?
I don't know. I mean, they have changed for the better, for
Yeah.
sure. Like, I go back to, like, pictures, and I can tell the difference, for sure. I mean, again, I started as a bather and just kind of worked my way up, and another groomer actually taught me how to groom.
Okay.
So, and she was good.
Yeah.
Shout out to Joy.
That's awesome. I mean, just so you guys know, Kayla actually works for me. So when she first came, she did great. But I also knew she needed a little help, needed a little bit of help. And I remember your haircuts for the head, they were just, she wouldn't even use the shears around the head. It was just a comb cut type of face. I remember asking him, like, are you done? It was pretty funny. So her grooms, I feel like your grooms have definitely changed over the years for the better, for sure. So we know that you work with your girlfriend. How is that? Does she ever get on your nerves? Do you guys ever get on each other's nerves?
I mean, yeah. It's not the easiest. But I mean, we both like do push each other to like do the best that we can. But obviously it's not easy because I do take things out on her, and I know she takes things out on me too, which we're working on, and I feel like that's just something we're just kind of have to keep pushing through.
That's great. That's all you can do is work
Yeah.
on it.
Still love her.
Yeah. Do you guys ever take things personal?
I would say a little bit in the beginning, but just like with our different job titles and stuff. But now today, like, no, because again, she's her own person. She's there to do her job, and I'm my own person doing my own thing. So.
Good. Nice. And then, how do you guys separate like work and life? Or do you guys?
I mean, I am trying to have like a more respectful work like relationship with her at work. I mean, again, it's hard because I mean, we live together too, so
Yeah.
like, I mean, don't get me wrong, once we get home and we both have a frustrating day, like, we'll talk about it.
I mean, obviously, you guys aren't the only ones. I feel like a lot of people in the grooming industry, like, they're either working with their partner side by side. So I know, like, it's hard. It definitely is hard because then you go home and, sometimes work goes home with you and you're frustrated and kind of have to, like, put that aside and be like, okay, today, like right now, we just got home, we're together, we're a couple, like whatever happened at work stays at work type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that's like that works well is that if one of us are like irritated with each other, like we're kind of forced to talk it out.
Yeah.
So that kind of helps.
Okay, that's awesome. Do you want to take a bite of your food?
It's already like broken, so
It's broken?
I'm gonna need a fork.
Corey, fork.
It's okay.
I get it. What do you love most about grooming?
Sorry, there's no forks, but here's some churros.
Pouring to the sea. Thank you, Corey. You're the best.
What was the question again?
What do you
love?
Yeah, what do you love most about grooming?
That I work with animals, not people. Just kidding.
No, I feel like that is great though.
I think just also like meeting a bunch of different dogs and cats and seeing like their different personalities, and like you can kind of tell like which personalities go with different breeds.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like, yeah, some are just way more outgoing and like hyper and energetic.
Yeah.
And then some are just very like timid and scared, where you have to kind of like go slower with them. And then also doing the whole like transformation if they come in like raggedy or anything, and then you're like, ooh, can't wait to transform you.
Aww. It gets emotional sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
but very rewarding.
Yeah.
What's something that you wish people knew about groomers? Pet groomers.
I mean, I don't think I could speak for every pet groomer, but I would say for like us at least, that yeah, we do care for the pets, and sometimes we kind of forget to put ourselves first, where we keep putting the dogs first. Just as easy as like taking a break. Like we try to get these dogs in and out, especially if they're like super anxious and don't want to be there that long.
Yeah.
So we kind of forfeit like eating.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. So, okay. So, is there anything else you would wish people knew about us?
We're not magicians.
That's perfect. Yeah, we are not. We do not have a magical wand.
No, we do what we can.
That is great. No, yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you mean by that? Because I feel like some people won't understand.
Just if they want like a specific haircut, and their dogs just won't let us, like we will do what we can. Or if they want a specific cut, like they show us a picture of like a Bichon, but they really have like a Shih Tzu. It's not gonna look the same.
Exactly, and that's what she means. And we're not magicians. We can't change the breed of your dog or the coat of your dog.
No, your hair can't be thick like this one.
Yes.
So, yeah. I
totally agree. Okay. Do you ever bring your own dog to the grooming salon?
Yes.
Yeah.
All the time.
And how does she act?
She's a little bully. Not like in a mean way. Like I feel like she tries to be, but she's not. She barks at like the bigger dogs because she's not used to the big ones, which is annoying because she's always at the shop.
And what type of dog do you have?
Shih Tzu poodle.
Shih Tzu poodle. She thinks she's a big dog.
I mean, her best friend's a cat, so
yeah.
So that's where her mentality, I guess, where she thinks she's tough.
Yeah, I've seen her in action. You can't even put her in a kennel either.
No, she'll rip up the pee pad or anything that's in there.
Yeah, and she's a high jumper for sure.
Oh
like,
yeah.
So
I mean,
funny.
when she was a puppy, I don't know how, but she got out of a kennel, and it was locked at my mom's, and I'm like, I don't know how you did that.
Oh my gosh.
She's never liked being in kennels.
Yeah, that's crazy. Have you ever experienced burnout?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not the best, but you feel like you kind of have to find your way back into what you love and try to find why you love what you do so much.
Yeah.
I saw a video that the best way to like, I guess, recover from a burnout is grooming your own dog.
Oh.
So at that time when I just brought Louie, my dog, to the salon, and I just took a moment and just kind of like held her and then just started grooming her, but like very slowly. And then like after that, I kind of just like snapped out of it. So that kind of helped a lot.
That's different. I've never heard that before.
Really?
No. Yeah. Where'd you hear that?
I don't know, some random video on social media.
I mean, it's interesting because if you think about it, I mean, it's a good way because then you kind of like realize like, I mean, well, obviously like you're tired, you're exhausted and everything, but then you see your own pet and I feel like it goes back to like, you want to make sure that your own dog is safe or whatever. And like that the groomer who's grooming your dog has a positive attitude about their work and their life and everything like that. So I feel like it brings you back to that connection of like why you're doing this.
Yeah, and like with Louie, she's not the best with blow drying. She throws hands.
She throws hands.
Yeah, and when like I'm burnt out, like I just don't want to deal with that with other pets. But then with Louie, it's like I kind of realized that yes, I love Louie and she is my dog. And like with other pet owners, obviously I love them, but I just need to have the same like respect and timing with them as well that I do with Louie.
Yeah.
So then with Louie, I'm just like, yeah, I just once I like held her and just hugged her and then kind of like got emotional with her and just groomed her.
Yeah.
I felt better.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great advice, and I've never heard that before, so that's awesome. It's like my other question to you would be like, I know you get emotional with like certain situations. I mean, everybody does, like with certain dogs that come in matted and, you know, like how do you overcome that or like how do you deal with that?
Obviously like seeing them at first, I'm just like, how could someone do this to a dog? But I think like while doing it again, I think of Louie and then I'm just like happy that I'm able to like help them in that moment and then give them all that love that I have as much as I can give them in that moment.
Yeah.
And then
Okay. And what do you feel like you bring to like, well, I guess you answered that. Like I was gonna say, like, what do you feel like you bring to the table as in like as a groomer? Like how do you what do you bring to the table as a groomer? And that can go in with like qualities of like who you are.
I mean, I guess like with me is I do have a very soft spot for animals because I've always said they can never speak for themselves. So it is hard to like know what they're going through, but in that moment when you're grooming them, you can kind of like get a little like a little taste, I guess, of like how they feel and like their just energy kind of just rubs off of you. But yeah, I mean, I would say that our job definitely like going back is not the easiest because you do get super attached. And then I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I have favorites, so
I mean, who doesn't? I mean, there's some dogs in the salon like I don't know their names, and then there's some that I'm like, that's my favorite. Like I love when they come into the salon. I mean, have you even seen your favorite as of recently?
Yeah. He actually was just there on Saturday.
Oh, was he? Who's your favorite?
Flash.
Oh, well, I'm glad. I honestly, again, I don't even see him often, so he's definitely not my favorite. But he's yours. You can have him. Oh, that's awesome. And I know that like you struggle with you being quiet and everything. So let's talk about like the work environment. Obviously, you have different type of groomers who are very outspoken, have they're just loud and they have these different personalities. And then like for you, I know that you're a quiet groomer. How is that for you knowing, because obviously I know there's people who are like, oh, well, you know, she's quiet, so she's rude, or she's quiet, she's a bitch, or she's quiet, you know. How do you deal with that?
I kind of just learned to like ignore what other people kind of think. Because yes, when I'm grooming, I am very to myself because, again, I feel like it's that moment with me and the dog. Like that's our time and me trying to like get to know the dog, basically. And it's hard to have conversations when like the clippers are in your ears and just stuff like that, and like barking. But when I'm finished with the dog, or even at the end of the day, like it's not like I'm quiet all the time. Like I'll have a conversation, but just not when I'm grooming.
Right, leave her alone when she's grooming. And then I guess this is my last question. What, if any, advice would you give to someone who's wanting to start a grooming career?
I would say definitely take your time. Don't rush into things, and don't think that it's all like happy.
Okay.
Like it's not this full beautiful thing. I mean, it is, but it isn't. You are going to get bit. You're going to get scratched. Realize that you are working with live animals. And you never know what's going to happen with them.
Right.
And also, like in salons, I do not like that competition vibe.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel like when a new groomer or someone new is trying to come in, I feel like instead of competing or showing that like you're better or whatever, like I feel like it's better to just encourage them and give advice and just help them out.
Yeah. I totally agree. And I feel like to explain what she means with like the competition vibe, it's just like you come in and you think you know it all, or you think you can do more than so and so, but it shouldn't be like that. I definitely agree.
No.
It shouldn't be like that. You should go in with a positive attitude, wanting to uplift each other, and we're not competition, we're a teammate, so you definitely want to have a positive attitude, because honestly, I feel like it's hard to make friends in the grooming community because everybody's so competitive, and it really shouldn't be like that. You should definitely be helping each other out, rely on each other, you know. It's hard because we get into situations where, like, you know, we're unsure of, or, you know, so it's nice to be able to reach out to, you know, your fellow groomer and be like, hey, like, I'm a little stuck in this area, or I need some advice or whatever. And it's hard when there is that competition, you know, but it shouldn't be like that. And I definitely agree with you. That is a great advice to give to someone who is looking to join this career.
Yeah. And I mean, at the end of the day, like, everybody's going to know something more than someone else, or know something different than someone else. So instead of just like keeping that in and like holding resentment towards someone, it's better to just kind of give your knowledge out. So it's like, I don't know, encouraging.
And even if, and even if you feel like you know all of the knowledge in the world, like, I mean, you could still learn something from someone who has less, you know, knowledge than you, or whatever. I definitely feel like that. There's always opportunity to learn.
Oh yeah, grow. There's always like something to learn.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. And that's all the questions I have for today. I want to thank you, Kayla, for coming on TGT. And you guys can follow Kayla on Instagram at Styles with Kayla.
Yes.
Thank you guys for watching TGT, The Groomers Table. We will see you guys next time. Bye.